Have you ever felt that strange tingling in your feet and just ignored it? You pause for a second, maybe rub your toes, then tell yourself, it's just age. It happens. Or maybe it's your hands. They don't feel as strong anymore. You drop things more often. Buttons feel harder. Jars stay closed longer than they should. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet voice whispers, something isn't right, but you don't say it out loud, because admitting it makes it real. Everyone my age feels this way, you tell yourself. It's normal, your friend says over tea. Just part of getting older, someone else shrugs. And so, you move on, but deep down, you're not fully convinced. One morning, you sit at the edge of your bed. Your feet touch the floor. And there it is again. That dull numbness. Not painful, not sharp, just different. You frown. This wasn't here before. You whisper to yourself. And that's the moment something shifts. Not panic, not fear, just awareness. Because here's the truth, no one really explains to you. This might not be aging. It might be something else entirely. You've always trusted your medications. Why wouldn't you? Your doctor prescribed them. You take them exactly as told. Morning pills, evening pills, sometimes a few in between. They're helping you, your doctor once said, adjusting your prescription. These will keep things under control. And you believed that. You still do. But what if something important was never fully explained? What if, while helping one part of your body, something else is being quietly affected? Think about your nerves for a moment, not in a complicated medical way. Just imagine them as tiny electrical wires running through your body. Every movement you make, every step you take, every time you hold a cup or feel the warmth of sunlight on your skin, that's your nerves sending messages. Now imagine those wires covered in a protective toll. That coating keeps everything working smoothly. But what happens when that coating slowly wears down? The signal weakens. Sometimes it gets delayed. Sometimes it doesn't reach at all. And sometimes it sends the wrong message. That's when your body starts whispering things like, why does this feel numb? Why am I losing strength? Why do my feet feel like they're not fully there? You sit quietly one afternoon, staring at your hands. They used to feel stronger, you murmur. And you're right. Inside your body, something very real may be happening. There's a protective layer around your nerves called the myelin sheath. You don't need to remember the name. Just think of it as insulation, like the plastic coating on a wire. When it's strong, signals move fast and clearly. But certain medications, especially over time, can slowly affect that layer. Not overnight, not suddenly. Quietly, gradually, almost unnoticeably, until one day you notice. Signals from your brain start slowing down or getting mixed up. That's when your body begins to feel different. Not broken, just off. You stand up from a chair and your balance feels uncertain. You reach for something and your grip isn't as steady. You walk across the room and your feet feel heavier than they used to. And again, you tell yourself, it's just age. But what if it isn't? A few days later, you're sitting in a clinic. Your doctor looks at your chart, then at you. Have you been feeling any tingling or numbness? He asks. You hesitate. A little, you admit. Nothing serious. He nods slowly. It's good you mentioned it, he says. Sometimes these things are early signs. Signs of what? You ask, your voice quieter now. He leans back slightly. Sometimes your body isn't getting what your nerves need to stay healthy. You blink. What do you mean? Simple things, he says gently, like vitamin B12, magnesium, certain healthy fats. Without them, nerves can struggle. You sit there, absorbing it. So, this can be helped? You ask. He gives a small, reassuring smile. In many cases, yes, especially if we catch it early. And for the first time, you feel something you didn't expect. Hope. You walk out of that room thinking differently. Maybe this isn't something you just have to accept. Maybe your body isn't fading. Maybe it's asking for support. You start small, an extra egg at breakfast, a handful of nuts in the afternoon, fish once or twice a week, leafy greens on your plate, nothing extreme, nothing overwhelming, just small, steady changes. And over time, something begins to shift. Not dramatically, but enough. Your steps feel a little more stable. Your hands feel a bit more responsive. That strange tingling, still there, but softer. And that quiet voice inside you, it's changing too. Maybe I can do something about this. But here's where it gets even more important. Because while your body is trying to recover, something else may still be working against it. And this is the part most people never see coming. Some of the most common medications, the ones you may be taking every single day, are directly linked to this kind of nerve problem. You trust them. You rely on them. But you've never been told the full story. You sit there one evening, holding your pill in your hand, looking at it a little differently now. And a question forms in your mind. What else don't I know? Because what you're about to discover next might surprise you more than anything so far. You reach for your pills the same way you always do. A glass of water, a small pause. Then, one by one, you swallow them down. This is routine now, something you don't question anymore, because these medications are supposed to help you. Your cholesterol is under control, your doctor once told you. This will protect your heart, he added. And another time, this will ease your stomach. You won't feel that burning anymore. You nodded. You trusted it. Of course you did. But now, something feels different. Your legs feel heavier when you walk. Your energy fades quicker than it used to. And that quiet tingling from before, it hasn't gone away. It lingers. And a small thought begins to grow. What if these pills are doing more than I realize? You sit across from your doctor again, this time with more questions. I've been feeling weaker, you admit, and tired, more than usual. He looks at your chart, then back at you. Are you still taking your statin? He asks. Yes, you reply. Every day. And the acid reflux medication? You nod again. He leans forward slightly. Okay, he says calmly. Let's talk about something most people aren't told. You feel your chest tighten just a little. What do you mean? Think of your body like a factory, not a complicated one. Just a steady, hard-working system that produces what you need to function. Energy, strength, repair. Now, imagine certain medications slowing down a few of those production lines, not stopping them completely, just slowing them, quietly, over time. Statins, for example, are designed to lower cholesterol, and they do that well. But in the process, they may also reduce something called CoQ10. You don't need to remember the name. Just think of it as fuel. Fuel your cells use to create energy. Without enough of it, your muscles and your nerves start to feel the difference. You shift in your chair. That explains the fatigue? You ask. Your doctor nods gently. It can, he says, and sometimes even muscle weakness. Then there's your acid blocker, the one you take to keep that burning in your chest away. It works by reducing stomach acid. But here's what most people don't realize. That same acid is needed to absorb certain vitamins, especially vitamin B12. And B12 plays a critical role in keeping your nerves healthy. Without it, your nerves don't get the support they need. Signals weaken, responses slow down, and those strange sensations, they begin to make more sense. You sit back, absorbing it all. So, these medications are hurting me? You ask quietly. Your doctor shakes his head. No, he says firmly. They're helping you in important ways. Then he pauses. but your body may need extra support alongside them. That word stays with you. Support. Not stopping. Not fearing. Not avoiding. Supporting. You walk out of the clinic thinking differently than before. This isn't about choosing between your medications and your health. It's about balance. You begin to make small changes again. Nothing dramatic, just intentional. You add more fish to your meals, eggs in the morning, maybe fortified cereals once in a while. You take short walks, even when you don't feel like it. Just 10 minutes, you tell yourself. And slowly, something begins to shift again. Your energy doesn't crash as hard. Your legs feel slightly more responsive. That heavy, dragging feeling, it starts to ease. A few weeks later, you're back in the clinic. I feel a little better, you admit. Your doctor smiles. That's a good sign, he says. Your body responds when you give it what it needs. You hesitate, then ask, "Should I stop the medication?" He shakes his head immediately. "No, never stop suddenly," he says firmly. "We adjust carefully, always with guidance." You nod. That makes sense. Because now you understand something you didn't before. It's not about removing what helps you. It's about replacing what gets lost along the way. But there's something else, something even more subtle. Because not all medications work quietly in the background. Some affect you in a way you can feel almost immediately. They help you sleep. They reduce pain. They make things easier, at least for a while. But over time, they may be doing something deeper, something harder to notice at first. You sit on your bed that night, holding another pill in your hand. This one is different. You take it when the pain gets too much, or when sleep won't come. You look at it a little longer than usual, and a new question forms in your mind. What is this one doing to me? Because what you're about to discover next might be even more surprising than everything so far. You reach for the pill when the pain gets too loud. Maybe it's your back after a long day. Maybe it's your knees when you stand up. Or maybe it's just the silence at night, when sleep refuses to come. You take it, hoping for relief. And for a while, it works. Your body softens. The pain fades into the background. Your mind slows down just enough to rest. And you whisper to yourself, "I needed that." But what if that relief is only temporary? What if, underneath that calm surface, something is quietly building? "If it helps me sleep, it must be okay," you once said to your doctor. He didn't disagree. But he didn't fully agree either. "It can help in the short term," he told you carefully, "but we have to be mindful over time." At the time, you didn't think much of it, because when you're tired, when you're hurting, you're not thinking about long-term effects. You're thinking about getting through the night. Imagine this. Your body is like a house with a fire alarm. When something is wrong, pain, stress, inflammation, the alarm goes off. It's loud, it's uncomfortable, it demands attention. Now imagine instead of finding the fire, you just turn off the alarm. That's what some painkillers and sedatives do. They quiet the signal. They don't always solve the problem behind it. You sit there one evening rubbing your knee. "It still feels stiff," you mutter. "But I don't feel it as much after the pill." And that's the point. You don't feel it, but your body still does. Inside you, something subtle begins to change. Some of these medications slow down nerve signals. Others calm the brain so deeply that communication becomes muted. At first, it feels like relief, but over time, your nerves may respond slower. Your balance may feel slightly off. Your coordination, just a little less sharp. You stand up one morning and pause. "Why do I feel unsteady?" you ask yourself. There's no clear answer, just a quiet shift. A few days later, you mention it again. "I feel a bit off balance sometimes," you tell your doctor. He nods, listening carefully. "Are you still taking the sleep medication?" he asks. "Yes," you reply. "Most nights." He folds his hands. "Let's try something different," he says. "Not to replace it completely, but to support your body naturally." You raise an eyebrow. "Like what?" That's when you begin to learn something new. Not everything has to come from a pill. You start with small changes again. A short stretch before bed. Nothing complicated. Just gentle movement. You dim the lights earlier. Turn off the screen that used to glow late into the night. You sit quietly for a few minutes. At first, it feels strange, unfamiliar, but slowly, your body begins to respond. You sleep a little easier, not perfect, but better. And during the day, something else changes, too. Your body feels more awake, more connected. You also begin to notice what you're eating. More foods that reduce inflammation. Less of what makes your body feel heavy. It's not a strict plan, just awareness. And over time, your need for the pill becomes less urgent. Not gone, but not as automatic. One night, you hold the pill in your hand again. You look at it for a moment longer than usual. Then, you set it back down. Maybe tonight. I'll try without it, you whisper. And that small decision feels bigger than it should, because it means something is changing. Not just in your body, but in your mindset. But just when you start to feel like you're understanding your body better, there's another layer to uncover. Something even more common. Something millions of people rely on every single day. And most of them have no idea what it might be doing beneath the surface. You hear it casually in conversation. It's for blood sugar. Totally normal. But now, you're not so sure. Because what if even that is affecting your nerves too? You've been doing everything right. You watch your sugar. You take your medication on time. You sit across from your doctor and hear the words you've worked so hard for. Your blood sugar is under control. And for a moment, you feel relief. Good, you tell yourself. I'm managing this. Because you know how serious it is. You've heard the warnings. You've seen what uncontrolled blood sugar can do. So, you stay disciplined. But then, something doesn't add up. Your feet still feel strange some mornings. Your balance isn't as steady as you expected it to be. And that quiet numbness, it didn't disappear the way you thought it would. You sit there, confused. I thought I was doing everything right, you say softly. And that's when you realize there's something no one fully explained. If my blood sugar is normal, then everything else should be fine. That belief feels logical. It makes sense. But your body doesn't always work that simply. During your next visit, you bring it up. My sugar levels are good, you tell your doctor, but I still feel off. He listens carefully, then asks, Are you taking metformin? Yes, you reply. Every day. He nods slowly, as if connecting something in his mind. All right, he says. Let's talk about something important. You lean forward slightly. Think of your body like a car engine, he begins. You're doing a great job controlling the speed. That's your blood sugar. But there's another part people often forget. You wait. The oil, he says. The thing that keeps everything running smoothly. You frown slightly. What does that mean? It means, he continues, you can control blood sugar perfectly, but still miss something your nerves depend on. Inside your body, something subtle may be happening again. Metformin, one of the most common and trusted medications, helps control blood sugar effectively. But over time, it can reduce your body's ability to absorb vitamin B12. Not immediately, not dramatically, but gradually. And B12 is essential for your nerves. Without enough of it, the protective system around your nerves weakens. Signals become less reliable. Sensations begin to change. You sit quietly, processing it. So even if my sugar is fine, my nerves can still suffer, you ask. Your doctor nods gently. Yes, he says. That's why we look at the whole picture, not just one number. That moment stays with you because it shifts something deep inside your understanding. You've been focused on one goal, control the sugar. But now you see a bigger picture. Support the body. You start asking new questions. Should I check my B12 levels? You ask. I think that's a good idea, your doctor replies. And what about food? He smiles slightly. That's a great place to start. So you begin again, not from fear, but from awareness. You add small things into your routine. A glass of milk, eggs in the morning, foods you once overlooked, now chosen with intention. You read labels. You notice fortified grains. You pay attention in a way you didn't before, and slowly, your body responds, not overnight, but steadily. You feel a bit more energy during the day. Your mind feels clearer. Your steps feel just a little more confident. It's not dramatic, but it's real. One afternoon, you catch yourself walking without thinking about your balance. And that feels like progress. You smile quietly. Maybe I'm not losing control, you think. Maybe I'm learning how to take it back. But even with all this understanding, one truth becomes clear. It's not just one medication. It's not just one cause. It's a combination, layers, small effects that build over time. And now you've seen it from different angles. Your nerves don't just need protection from disease. They need support every single day. You sit back one evening, reflecting on everything you've learned so far. The tingling, the fatigue, the small changes that didn't make sense before, but now do. And a new question begins to form in your mind. Not one of fear, but of possibility. What can I do, starting today, to truly protect my body? Because now you're ready, not just to understand, but to take control. Here's the good news. Your body hasn't given up on you, even now. After everything you felt, everything you've noticed, everything that didn't make sense before, your body still has the ability to heal. You sit quietly for a moment, letting that sink in. Is it really possible? You wonder, because part of you still believes something else. It's too late, that voice says. This is just how it is now. But that voice isn't telling you the truth. Think of your nerves like a garden, not a perfect one, not one that's always been taken care of, but a garden nonetheless. If it's been ignored for a while, it doesn't mean it's dead. It means it needs attention, water, nutrients, care, and when you begin to give it those things, something incredible happens. It starts to grow again, slowly, quietly, but surely. You take a deep breath. So I can still improve this, you say to yourself. And for the first time, you don't doubt it. Inside your body, things are already shifting. When you give your system the right nutrients, your nerves begin to repair. When you move your body, even gently, your nerve pathways stay active. When you reduce inflammation, the pressure around those nerves begins to ease. It's not a miracle. It's biology, and your body knows exactly what to do when you support it. You start building a simple routine, not complicated, not overwhelming, just consistent. A short walk in the morning, just 10 minutes, you remind yourself. Balanced meals, not perfect, but better than before. A glass of water when you wake up, another before bed, and most importantly, awareness. You don't ignore the signals anymore. You listen. A few weeks pass, then a few more. And one day, you notice something small, but powerful. You stand up, and you don't hesitate. You walk across the room, and your steps feel steady. That tingling that once bothered you, it's quieter now. Not completely gone, but no longer in control. You smile. I feel stronger, you admit softly. And that moment means everything. Because it's not just about your nerves anymore. It's about your independence, your confidence, your ability to live your life on your terms. And that changes everything. Today, you've uncovered something important. Your nerve health was never just about age. It was about what your body was missing, what it was dealing with, and what it truly needed. Medications played a role. Nutrients played a role. And now, you do too. Protecting your nerves doesn't mean stopping everything you've been doing. It means understanding your body and supporting it along the way, working with it, not against it. So here are 3 simple things you carry forward from today. First, Pay attention to key nutrients like B12 and CoQ10. Your nerves depend on them. Second, don't ignore early signs. Tingling, numbness, weakness. These are messages, not inconveniences. And third, support your body daily with food, movement, and guidance from your doctor. Think of this as an investment, not just in your health, but in your independence, your mobility, your future. Every small step you take today is building something stronger for tomorrow. So here's your challenge. This week, take one action, just one. Maybe it's improving a meal. Maybe it's asking your doctor a question. Maybe it's going for that short walk you've been putting off. Start there, because small steps lead to real change. You are not stuck. You are not powerless. You have the ability to rebuild strength, protect your nerves, and take control of your health, starting today. And always remember, before making any changes to your medication or supplements, talk to your doctor. Your health deserves careful, guided decisions. If this journey felt like your story, if you saw yourself in these moments, then don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe for more guidance, and share it with someone who might need to hear these words today. Because sometimes the right information at the right time can change everything.